sons. We're going to have a couple words. Billy's going to have a couple words. Michelle is going to have a couple words. She's going to call in. She had COVID for 2.5 years and then caught it 2 days ago. So it's just how it goes. And then we have a old, long-time friend of my father's, Hondo, that's also going to finish it off. On behalf of my mother and the rest of the family, I want to extend our gratitude to everyone for their love and support. Many of you have traveled great distances, and I know you would have loved seeing everyone here. I want to start with saying that no matter if you are family, friends, or friends of the family, I know we're all better off for having my dad a part of our lives. Over the years, and especially the past couple of months, I've had the pleasure of reminiscing and hearing stories from you all about his wisdom, humor, generosity, friendship, and love. He truly was a giver from beginning to end. Dad was hardworking, compassionate towards everyone, and deserved the success and rich life he was able to enjoy. While sharing his blessings, he also quietly and gracefully carried the load of God's greatest challenges between tragic deaths and health. While his work ethic could be intimidating for me at times, as though sensing it, he would constantly assure me that one day, when I have children, I will understand. He taught me through example, conversations, stories, and even scripture. For a man who did not advertise himself as being very religious, he seemed to always be able to recite an excerpt from the Old or New Testament. He taught me that your family is the most important thing in life, and it only has one definition: unconditional love. It's not defined by law or blood. It's not defined by time, and certainly not defined by opinion. Your family is those that you love and love you unconditionally. His happiness was found in many areas of life, whether if it was through books, travel, outdoors, business, or babies. He especially loved holding babies. He was most happy when experiencing these joys of family. At an early age, I remember accompanying him and friends on a goose hunting trip. I was too young to equip a gun and had way too much energy to be trusted with the goose call. But I remember them lacking a bird dog at the time, and I was a perfectly good substitute for that. While I didn't realize it then, sitting there with my dad wrapped in blankets and camel that was way too big for me, we were setting the perfect foundation for lifelong hunting partners. It's one of my dad's go-to adages: man plans and God laughs. This unfortunately did not pan out as how we dreamed it to be. No matter though, we still created those cherished moments. The most recent being this past fall, for duck hunting that I went out to the farm on a cold Tuesday morning. Given this was midweek, I was not joined by friends. However, I was not alone either. My dad called me right before dawn and asked how I was all set up and how I was looking. While it may have been intended to be a brief call, it turned into an hour conversation of us talking about life, interrupted by me dropping my phone and letting off a couple shots and excitedly updating him on which birds were taken. I couldn't wait to get back and then show him the photos. I talked to my dad every day. He shared in my successes and he supported me in my failures. He made the difficult decisions seem easy. He seemed always to be 10 steps ahead of me and help guide me through life. He knew which life lessons were to be experienced and which ones did not need to happen at all. Dads are someone to look up to, someone to follow, someone to admire, someone to be proud of, someone to brag about, someone to hold, someone to cry with, someone to learn from, and someone to respect. Someone to listen to, and someone to talk to, someone to try to impress, someone to rebel against, and someone, most of all, with whom to share everything this wonderful life has to offer. I'm so incredibly grateful and happy I can stand here today to help you. But I had all of this much, much more with my dad. I've been blessed to have Pete as my dad. Say I love my dad would be an understatement. To say I'm gonna miss him will be even greater. When you're 30, almost times. My nearly 30 years of having my father, I've taken the opportunities presented to me to demonstrate the principles he taught me. While some life events have yet to occur, he will always be part of me in a guiding light. My dad's love was unconditional, and this is something I will cherish and take with me forever. His generosity and kindness will be remembered by all who had the pleasure of knowing him. I think we have Michelle on the phone, and she wrote something.
Hi.
Okay, Michelle, you're
Yes.
on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm ready to go.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. I got COVID a couple days ago, so here I am. Some people don't have to share. I met my dad a little bit later in life than most daughters meet their fathers. My dad picked me to be his daughter when I was 7. And although he would tell you that he used to change my diapers, I assure you I was out of diapers by that time. I remember the day he picked me up in the little red Toyota MR2. My brother and I buckled up together in the front seat. I had no idea at that moment how lucky I was. In our earliest days together, we would go for long bike rides around the lakes of Norfolk. We would go for Sunday afternoon walks through the wooded paths. My love of the outdoors was taking root. In the evenings, he would call through the house, "Tea time," and I would bring him a little pot of tea with 2 shortbread cookies on the side. Over the summers after school, he would take me to work with him in the ginormous '88 Oldsmobile station wagon as his mini apprentice. I thought he had a pretty cool job. We would drive around town together, listening to Paul Harvey, age 2. He would reach across the sofa-like front seat and squeeze my little hand, and he'd ask me with meaning, "How are you doing, honey?" And then he would tell me stories about when he was young and how he grew up. We'd go out to lunch at new places or old favorites, and strangers would always remark how much we looked alike. And he would get me, we really did look uncannily alike. My dad showed me that a parent's love is unconditional. That not only was he my dad, but he was also, as he would later say to me, my great friend. He would be the first person I would call over her exciting news or daily chit-chat. I trusted his guidance and his opinions, and I appreciated his help and his advice, even if I didn't always take it. Many a time he would conclude our conversations with, don't be so stubborn." My dad was never shy to call a spade a spade. Some of my favorite memories with my dad are from traveling, whether we were deep sea fishing in the Gulf of Mexico, swimming in a waterfall in the Philippines, whale watching in Quebec, riding camels in the Sahara, or simply driving through little towns on road trips, he showed me that there's so much more to be in this world. That life is an adventure. As you all know, my dad always had a story to tell. Some of the best ones started with when I was growing up, when I was stationed in, and when I worked for the railroad. My dad had a full and beautiful life. He would often say how grateful, how blessed, and how thankful he was. Followed by, I've had a wonderful life. Through the years, my dad was taught by example some of his best values. Although he became quite successful, he never thought he was better than anybody. In my high school years, when his car was in the shop, he had no qualms about driving around in my bumper sticker plastic car, preaching world peace. My dad worked hard every day of his life, the goal never being money, 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 but rather to provide wealth for his family. But beyond that, he always wanted to help others, whether it was to provide a job, a home, or an opportunity. His desire to help others was endless and selfless. My dad had a compassionate and warm heart and a softness for babies and children. When my kids were infants, there was no point in even putting socks on them, because when they were in his arms, the baby sock vortex, he would pluck them up to play with their tiny toes. And if their feet were wrapped up in a onesie, no problem. Many a time I'd return to find my baby down to their diaper, toes in hand, fancy holiday clothes discarded on the table. And then he'd have an innocent look on his face. What? As my kids grew, at every gathering, he would be sure to call them over to him one at a time, where he'd put his arms around them or reach for their little hand, and he'd ask them with meaning, "How are you doing, honey?" And at the end of their talk, he'd offer them a little advice or life lesson. Some more mother approved than others, including but not limited to, study hard. Your mother isn't always right, and always throw the first punch. For my daughter, every lesson concludes with, boys are like buses, another one will come along every 5 minutes. Many things about my dad, but my absolute favorite was his sense of humor. He could lighten up even the darkest moments with a laugh. On one of our last days together, I was having a particularly emotional day, and he told me it was just wonderful, and to never forget how wonderful I was. We were both in tears, and once we hugged and recovered, he asked me how much my therapist charges, and I said $135. And he said, "I'll do it for 10. I laughed, and he put him in serious face and said, "I mean it, for $6." My dad, my great friend, you have given me a wonderful life, and I will never forget how wonderful you are. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for being here. Our dad had amazing life. He liked to travel, fish, hunt, and most of all, spending time with his family. He liked to tell stories, make jokes, work hard, care for others, and most of all, being our dad. He had never been a boaster and never said no to helping anyone. He was a finesse dresser and a genius. And oh, don't make me mad, because I would know so. I am grateful and was very lucky because of him. He changed my life in many ways. Thank you for being our dad. Thank you for your kind heart. And thank you for showing me how to keep on giving and helping other people. Because one day, it will change the world to goodness, like our dad, Peter Albert Fisher. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I am the Amazing Hondo and professional magician. And when I met Pete, he was the biggest skeptic I ever met. And it was quite an honor when Maureen invited me to do this. He said, Peter said, after I pass, Hondo has to come and do something amazing. So I thought about that. And what I do with my living is make magic fit functions. And so I got something special for you, Pete, and hope you're watching. But let's begin with, we're going to begin with the ropes because you've got to start simple. These are the generations. You got the grandkids, we got the kids, we got all of Pete's siblings and friends, and there's so many. We put them all, oh, by the way, what's your name?
Shannon.
Shannon, could you give this a tug?
Yes.
Yeah, just a little tug. That's all right, thanks. I'm excited too, thank you. Just wanted to prove they're real. So, I think it was 1986 or 7 when I met Pete. I had gone full-time into magic in 84 after a 9-year teaching career at St. Paul Cretin, and the Hanahans are here, some Cretin grads, and of course Pete went to Central, right, after St. Luke's, and we put all these ropes together, and I guess he'd be saying to all of you today, regardless your age, how long I knew you, where you rank in the family, you're all equally special. There's one, there's two, and you check the rope too. So let me show them to you. There's the small one, there's the medium one, and then there's the large one. But they do look equal because that's what you are. Thanks. Truth be told, Pete was a true skeptic. He'd be the kind of guy that would want to go in my bag of tricks and examine. And I said, Pete, can't do that. He said, well, can I just see the ropes? I said, all right, I'll show them to you. I said, there's the little one, there's the middle one, and then there's the big one. Are you satisfied? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, I was a math teacher, and I put math and magic together, and I'm going to try a little something right here. I've got some markers here. Your name, sir?
Matt?
Name a color.
Black.
Works for me. Easier to see in a crowd. You're the first person that's ever picked black, by the way.
Built already.
How's your attitude? Might have to call that therapist you were talking about, your sister was talking about. All right, first I put a prediction here. Then we do something here. But I want you to think about your home address. How many of you, by a show of hands, have 4 digits in your home address? 4 digits. All right, cool. How many of you have 4 digits, none of which repeat? Okay, I'm going to call on a couple of you for your addresses. Usually, it's either that or the last 4 of your social, whatever you prefer. All right, my prediction. Okay, I can't change it, so now here we go. I'm going to start off with some random numbers here. 72842. 4-digit address. Someone over here had their hand up on non-repeating. Who had a 4-digit address non-repeating? Yes? Could you mind sharing the numbers?
5901.
They do not repeat. 5901. Anybody over here? 4 digits that don't repeat? Yes?
5076.
I'd rather have some more different from these. Hey, here's one. Anybody got a 4-digit address that doesn't repeat, that doesn't have a 590 or 1? Now that'd be cool. Nobody? We tried. All right, we'll go with yours. What was it?
5076.
Okay, I got a sister who lives out in Prescott Valley, Arizona. Her 4 digits are... I just did a gig at a hotel downtown Phoenix 2 nights ago for a conference. That address was... I only remember this because I have a photographic memory. At least I did till they went digital. All right. 3, 9, 17, and 3 is 20. Carry the 2. 6, 13, 22, 24. 8 and 2 is 10, 19, and 9 is 28. You can check my work in the front row there, Matt. Mr. Black. It is Matt, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 4, 9, 10, 14, 18, 22, and a 2. So my answer is 92,840. 92,840 with randomly supplied addresses and a gig in Phoenix and my sister in Prescott Valley, Arizona. 92840, and the prediction was 92840, 92840. And that's amazing, but what's more amazing, Pete, is you magically appeared on September 28th of 1940, 928 of 40. This is the only day this trick could possibly work. I think about this stuff when I go to bed. All right. We're going to do an audience participation trick. We've got 2 left. We're going to do one with Pete's favorite granddaughter. Are you here? Who's the favorite granddaughter? Do we have one? I know I'm putting pressure on you.
She has COVID.
Oh, she's got COVID. All right. Michelle, volunteer a young woman. Maureen, I mean. Excuse me. Maureen.
Mary.
Who?
Mary, his daughter.
Come on. Come on up. M-A-R-Y-N. Marin?
Mary.
M-A-R-Y.
Like Mary Poppins.
Great, come on up. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
You know, I can tell she's nervous. You know how? She's shaking. Just a joke. All right. Prediction. Please hold. You did such a good job testing the rope. Mary, do you work?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
In finance.
Finance, okay. So you're good with money, just like your grandpa. That's your dad, Pete. Come on over. I bought this book at the airport. It's called Celebrity Fails. It's a stupid book about celebrities and some of the dumb things they say. So, but before I show it, oh yeah, I'm going to have you look through it. Paris Hilton, Mark Wahlberg, you see all those names?
Yep.
Famous names.
Yep.
I want you to hold the book up by your ear on your left side and go like this until one of those pages calls out to you. Just using your thumb line. Just stop when you feel like it. Okay, you happy? You look, don't let anybody else see. Open the page.
Okay.
You recognize the name?
Yep.
Okay, don't forget it.
Okay.
All right. When I think of Pete, I think of a guy. I got to show you this, folks. Get it here. Pete Fisher. He always said thank you. I always think of that when I think of Pete. He was definitely one of a kind. He has many friends. A lot of you are here. Very creative guy. We know that. Real estate was his world, and he was a master at that. Very unselfish. You would agree? Very unselfish. Very intelligent. Would you agree? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. Okay. And he was a great storyteller. We all know that. Whether it was true or not didn't matter. He was a very good storyteller. In other words, the last line, he too was an entertainer. So we'll just set this here for a second. And now you've got a prediction. You're thinking of a celebrity.
Yep.
This would be so cool if that celebrity you're thinking of is in there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let me see it. This would be so cool. You mind holding this while you're up? You're very helpful. Do you want me to show you who your celebrity is, or do you want to name it first? What would you prefer?
I can name it first.
Can you name it? Okay, tell the mic. Who do you got?
Tom Cruise.
Really? All right, let's see if I got it. Ladies and gentlemen, a baby picture of Tom Cruise right there, a baby picture. All right, I got a better one with a red bow tie. All right, that's a better one. Let's see. Doesn't look like Tom, does it? No. Does this look a little more like Tom right there? No? Well, let's just take a look here. Let's see what we got here. Does that look a little bit more like Tom Cruise? Right there. That just goes to show that you have been taught to make good choices in life. That's good. And all these words, this is the interesting thing, folks, that I don't quite understand. But if you look at the word list that fits Pete, if you look down the left side, you get a T-O-M-C-R-U-I-S-E. And so the name Tom Cruise is the first letter of all those words. Something to ponder. Thank you. How about a hand for Mary? Thank you, Mary. Okay, one more for you, and then we will carry on. Maureen, do you want to say something? Do you want to come up? I think you should. You can stand with me while I do this trick. How about a hand for Maureen? Let's have Maureen come up. See, you can't say no when they're applauding. And while you're coming up, Pete made the headlines. No, look here.
Yeah, look here.
Here, I'll help you out.
God.
Remember that song, What Goes Up Must Come Down? Stick around. So look what we got here.
Oh.
Pete made the headlines, a life well lived, right there, okay? So, 1998 was the last time I performed in this building. Jesse the Body had just won. I'm on stage in the other room with Paul Majors doing a charity event, and in the moment, Paul Majors looks at me and says, Hondo, you're a magician. How did Jesse win? And with no thought beyond what I improvisationally came up with, here's what I came up with. Well, I think the reason Jesse won is because Minnesota voters are so obedient. When they went into the polls yesterday, Jesse's was the second name on the ballot. The first name said Skip Humphrey, and so they did. That's how he won.
That's good.
All right. We all know that life has its elemental moments, and all of you folks here are a part of Pete's life. So every time I rip the paper, I get twice the amount I started with. This is the powers of two. The same thing that if you tell your young kids, if you put a penny in their piggy bank on the first day of the month and double it each day for a month. Now, some of you know this. You're going to have a lot of money at the end of the month, just doubling a penny every day for 30 days. You're going to be in the millions. I wonder if that's how Pete did it.
We're not telling.
So people see separate pieces. Do you see separate pieces? Makes it look like it's ripped. But the fact of a magical life like Pete's, and it's only magical because of the people in it, we're only as good as who we live with and share our life and our magic with. So Pete, this goes out to you and all of you and all the family, because we stick together. Watch, 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
And it changed. Rest in peace. 1940 to 2022. So it's been a pleasure and an honor to be here, and I do think, thank you so much, I do think we need to hear from you. Am I putting you on the spot?
Yes.
Tell us something we don't know about Pete.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, okay.
I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you. You all mean a lot to my family and to Pete. And I was so blessed that I went on that double date that my sister Jenny Ann and Dave set us up, and that was it, the one date. 30 years later. Thank you again. We love you all.
Thank you. People eventually go, but the memories continue on, so keep sharing memories of Pete. Thanks. Unless anybody else has something they want to say. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You want it, or you want to turn it off? Okay. There you go. Thank you. Are you a fisher?
Yeah.
I thought so.
You were.
You're not the little kid. You're not the little kid that was playing in the beach down in Fort Myers when the
80s.
Gergens were down there.
Yeah.
And you had a sister, or?
Yep, Michelle. You did the little show right in the Gergens place. I remember.
Yeah.
When I found out you were coming, I was like, I remember.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
And Fred had a son and a daughter very young. Tommy and Angie.
Yeah.
Angie.
Yep.
Oh, that is so cool. I was kind of thinking that was you, but I didn't know for sure.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
44.
And then you must have been about 8 or 10 or something.
Yeah, it was right in there, something like that.
Wow.
That was like 85, 86 or something.
I think it was. I think it was about 86. Somewhere I have a photo of you or your sister. Someone had made one of those little sand castles and half buried, and someone was jumping over them. And somewhere that photo.
Tommy jumping over. Yeah.
Cool.
I know which picture you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Great. Hi.
Good seeing you.
Thanks, Matt.
Bob Grazinger, every year at the Herbie's deal.
Oh, hey, Bob.
Yeah, and so I know how I was with David Brooks last night, and I know what he thinks about you, so I had to come and say hi.
Well, thank you. I missed the last couple because I had a gig in South Dakota for one of them, so maybe you'll have me come back next time.
You're amazing. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Nice to be here.
Thanks a lot. How did you know Pete?
You know what?
And yours is Bob?
Bob Grazinger.
Grazinger.
Our kids went to school.
You guys don't mind if we record this, do you?
No.
So we're at Pete Fisher's Celebration of Life. We just did a little program up there. We got some of Pete's. How do you all know Pete? How do you know Pete?
We're friends with Pete's son, Peter.
Okay, the one who spoke first?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
all right, great.
Yes.
And I've been showing him a couple tricks here, so let's see what happens here. Would you mind holding this? You can just, whatever you see is what you get.
Okay.
All right.
Good, sir.
I have 4 coins right here. I should get 4 coins, right?
Don't drop it in the potato
All
salad.
right, I'm going to set one here, and these go here. I touch this one to Pete's head, and now right through the back of his head to the front of his head, one of the coins has passed through Pete. Let's do that again.
What?
Coin number 1 goes there. Coin number 2 goes there. Okay, Pete, here we go. I'm going to go through his ears. I heard a click. Click. Whoa. All right, Pete, 1 more coin. All right, here goes. Now, the last coin has a mind of its own. It likes to walk through the fingers. I kept it out of the potatoes. That was good. It was the last little move I had to do. Come on there. All right, here we go. So the last coin goes here. This one goes right through Pete's face, just like that. Disappears. Try to get all 4 of them.
What?
Get some reactions.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That was great, Hondo.
Here, get a load of this one. See that spoon? We're at the Lafayette Club. I think they got an issue with their spoons. It'll be all right. Let's try that one more time. I'll show you how I do it. See, it just looks like it's bending. See, it's an up. Whoa!
That was good.
One more. So let's check this out. This is a napkin. If I twirl it, it's going to appear to get longer. I go this way, my hands will apparently get farther apart. Doesn't it look like it's growing?
Yes.
Now if I take an invisible picture here, wrap it around here.
Wow.
Now if I take a coin and put it right in there. Let's try some. Whoa, right through the napkin, right through the napkin.
Right through the napkin.
If I put the coin here, can you feel it?
Yeah, there's a coin there.
Feel it? Can you feel that? No, beer. Is that fake beer or real beer? Real beer. Can you feel it? Yeah. Okay, good. Let's check it. All right, here we go. Last coin. I can feel it.
Whoa. Wow.
If any of you have companies that do events,
Yeah, sure.
that's me.
Thank you. Yeah.
My website is hondomagic.com. In fact, is that our phone? See what happens when you put it on that QR code. It opens up. I got a couple famous people on the slider. Oh, you can't see him. That's Muhammad Ali. And you got to hold the phone sideways. King, aren't you?
What? Do you want this back? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Hondo. Thanks, Hondo.
Thank you.